As you know, just a little bit under 5 hours ago, Officer Andy Chan was traveling eastbound on Ron Street when he was in the Pennypack Park area. His motorcycle was struck by a vehicle. He was thrown from that motorcycle. He was subsequently rushed to the hospital here, and the trauma surgeons and neurosurgeons have been working on him from the time he got there. And let me just tell you that first and foremost, he as a result of his surgery, he is critical but stable. He is now in ICU. He's still got a ways to go, and we're still keeping him in our thoughts and our prayers. The doctors at some point will be examining, his injuries and as a result of what they did. But I have to tell you in advance of anything you may ask that we cannot say enough about the men and women and their team that are standing behind me. We all watched them from the moment that Andy Chan came in here, and they worked feverishly on him, and they never stopped. And so they just are a testament to, a profession that we admire already, but they just have done a wonderful job with him, and we can't say enough about him, them, everybody who's been involved. I mean, from the time he hit the ER, from the time the neurosurgeon who's here with me got here, and we're able to stabilize him. As we indicated before, he sustained some very significant injuries. And so we are prayerful that with their skilled hands and their medical abilities, along with God's grace, that he's going to come through this. And so you've probably seen a number of, you've got the mayor here, you've got John McNesby, you've got all these commanders, and you probably got hundreds of cops you can't even see behind the hospital. But it is this hospital that has had such a profound impact on keeping Andy with us thus far. And so that's what we're ever so grateful for. And so I just want you all to know that we have tremendous confidence in the staff here, and what they have shown us has been nothing short of just amazing. It's been amazing. So I don't know if you have any questions right now. Relative to the investigation, let me just digress for a moment. Right now, preliminarily, this looks like an accident. The 79-year-old gentleman remained on the scene. There's no indication of impairment at this time. It just seems like it's an absolutely tragic accident that we're hopeful, will end in a very positive way. And so we don't have much more than that to update you on, but we wanted to let you know where we've progressed to at this point in time, but ultimately wanted to let you know that we're asking for people's thoughts and prayers, and we want to thank these wonderful hospital people once again. All right?
Can you talk about the procedures performed or anything?
Well, that wouldn't be within my purview, and I'm just going to say this in advance of any doctor who chooses to step up. They do have certain rules and regulations they have to abide by, and so I would imagine they are not able to go into so much detail. I will just tell you, and if someone wants to nudge me, I will gladly move. But I will just tell you that they have done a miraculous job. I mean, to watch them the way that I did from the beginning, and I wasn't the only one. They did everything possible and to get him where he is right now. And so, there are HIPAA issues and things like that I would imagine that we have to contend with. I'm not an expert on that, but I would imagine they are not in a position to go into too much detail. Just trust me. I would love put in the work on me after watching what they did, all right, or anybody in my family, and because they just went all in, and they just did a tremendous job. And so they're monitoring everything that's going to happen with Andy. And I told you before, Andy is unique in the sense that he is so well regarded and well known. You got 6,500 men and women. Some wonderful people, but there are very few who don't know Andy Chan. In fact, and some of you may have seen it, my former colleague and friend Chuck Ramsey came up this evening because he heard it was Andy Chan. And so I think that's speak volumes about his character, who he is, and how much we love and care about him. I mean, and we care about all our police officers. He just happens to be a guy that in his 24 years in the department that he has touched so many people, and is such a giving individual, and ultimately, as I said before, just one heck of a police officer. And I guarantee you that just about anybody here who knows him, whether in highway patrol or not, knows of Andy's abilities when he puts that uniform on. And so he represents us. I mean, he's a paragon of excellence when it comes to being a police officer and demonstrating what it's about, and doing so professionally and with pride, and doing so with respect. And so we can't say enough about him, and we're hopeful that, you know, in time he's going to put this uniform back on and go back out there and do what he does. All right? Anybody else? Thank you, folks.